everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Reback Rock. Today we're talking to Mimmo. Mimmo is the lead singer of the band called Krystal. That's Krystal with a K. Back in the day, they released 2 blues-based hard rock albums in the 1990s. I couldn't really find much online about them, so when I saw Mimmo on the social media, I immediately reached out, and he's been really cool. I really appreciate all the time he spent with me, and the conversation was really fun. He's just a really cool guy. All right, so I appreciate that. You're going to learn few stories, learn a little bit about Krystal, find out what he's doing now. All I can tell you is that he is still on the highway to hell and still out there making music. All right. I also am dropping my normal kind of Krystal video on the same day as this one. So if you want to just hear a little bit about the history and hear some music samples, you can check that out. He also has given me permission to post the first 2 albums. So if they're not up already, they will be soon on my channel, so you can listen to it there. All right, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate him. Thank you very much. I will catch up with you on the next episode.
I appreciate you doing this, really, because I loved Krystal when those albums came out, and there's not much information out there, so I know nothing except that you guys are from Canada.
Yeah, we're from Canada, man. We're from Montreal. Oh, my God. Yeah, we're from Montreal. Yeah,
When did you
long
guys
time
start?
ago. Where did we start?
Yep.
Here in Montreal. I'm sorry?
Or how did you start?
Dean, if I tell you that, you're gonna think this is nuts. In 1988, my cousin, who's the bass player in Krystal, he had a school band, like one of those variety show kind of stupidities.
Okay. Yep.
And he had a big show coming up, like in a week or so. It was something like 10 days, and he calls me up one day. I think it was like on the weekend, and he's like, "What are you doing next Friday?" I said, "I'm coming down to your show." Because, it was the hot thing to do, right? We're kids, right? 16, 17, 18 years old, want to pick up chicks, whatever, right? That kind of shit. I'm like, "I'm coming down to your show." He's like, because I need a favor. I thought he wanted me to be like a roadie or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm coming down to your show." He's like, "I need a favor." So what's up? He goes, "You need to sing." I said, "I need to sing." What are you fuck? I'm like, "Are you out of your?" Oh, I'm sorry, I'm swearing.
No,
Is that
you're
okay?
good. Yep,
Okay.
you're good.
I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? I need to sing." I don't know how to sing. I was a soccer player when I was a kid. That's all I wanted to do was play soccer.
Okay.
I'm a big sports guy. I said, "No, it's not happening." He goes, "Come on, man, you got it." I said, "Well, what's going on? Do you have a singer? You have a band?" He's like, "Well, the singer in the band got in trouble or something happened, and he's not allowed to do the show, or his folks don't want, or his old man didn't want," something to that effect.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, I don't know how to sing." He goes, "Yeah, you do. But I had long hair and tattoos and whatever, so I looked the part, right?"
Right. Yep.
So I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna go look like fucking idiots, I said, "I don't know how to do this." Anyway, this was on a Saturday or Sunday. The show was the following Friday. He convinced me. Him and this other guy, Mark, convinced me. I went up there and I did the show on Friday. We did like a couple of Bon Jovi tunes, stupid kid stuff.
Yep.
And
I still love Bon Jovi,
No, so listen, if it wasn't for, I had a little argument with him and his bodyguard years ago, but whatever. I can tell you that later.
Okay.
So I did it and I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Now, I was used to playing in front of fans because, like I said, I used to play semi-pro soccer, right?
Okay.
So I always played in front of 2,000-3,000 people a night. So I was used to the fans and stuff. So I never felt stage fright, like ever, even till today.
Oh, that's lucky.
Which is pretty lucky, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Hey man, this is cool." So after the show, we went out to grab a bite or whatever, grab a burger somewhere. And I'm like, "Dude, this was fun, I said, "Was this a one-off?" He goes, "Well, not if you want to make a band or whatever." I said, "Well, let's try to do this,
Okay.
So we tried to do shit. And the drummer that he had, Mark was like, he was advanced. He was like playing in a Rush tribute at 17. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
He was really
He knew
good.
how to play.
Yeah, he knew how to play. So I'm like, Mark is like, "Oh, I'm better than you guys." I'm like, "All right, so then fuck it. Let's not do it, whatever." But my cousin really wanted to do it. So I said, "Let's get somebody else." Somebody at that show saw me sing and asked me to go audition for their band.
Okay.
Okay, they were called Baron Angel at the time. So I went to this audition. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Zero. I knew nothing about music, nothing. I get
No
there.
equipment, probably. And No PA, no equipment.
Nothing. Zero. I sang through a Roland guitar amp.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the first thing I did for practice.
Yeah.
Guitar amp.
So I'm like, okay, I showed up to this thing. And they were cool guys. I'm still friends with them today. Cool, great bunch of guys. But they were a little bit lighter than we were. Like, they were more into like the REM stuff, the U2 stuff.
Okay.
They were like Georgia Satellites kind of rock and roll,
More the
which is
alternative
cool.
rock. Yep.
Yeah, but it wasn't the kind of stuff I was listening to. You know what I mean? I was all into the 80s rock. I was into the Jovi and, the Cinderellas and the Skid Rows and all that shit.
Yeah.
I love that. But I'm also an old school guy. Like, I love the 70s, and I'm a big blues guy. And I always loved music. I just wasn't in music. So when I went to that audition, Freddie was there. And after that audition, I said to Fred, I go, why don't you and I start something? Because, he looked like fucking Zach Wilde. I'm like,
Okay.
what are you doing in this band, right? Like, So anyway, so Freddie decided to leave, and now we were three. There were me, Freddie, and my cousin. Somebody at that show that night said that there was this kid, and he's a good guitar player and whatever, and all this other shit. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I said, who is he? Oh, his name is Biff. They call him Biff. I said, okay. So I said, give me this Biff kid's number. So I called him. He was 15 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
And how old were you guys at the time?
We were 18. Like me and my cousin were like 18.
Right.
So I called this kid Biff. I said, hey man. I said, I'm Mimmo. I said, I was thinking, maybe we can do. He goes, are you that singer that was there Friday night? I said, yeah. He goes, I was there, man. You fucking rock. I'm like, dude, I heard you love Deep Purple is my favorite band. And I'm like, I heard you're a Purple fan. He goes, oh man, I love Blackmore. I go, well, you're in. I had no idea what he looked like. I had no idea if he owned a guitar. I didn't know if he had an amp. And then we were four. And that continued, and next thing you know, we had Krystal,
Was it the same lineup forever? Because
Always.
I know both albums were the same. So from day one, or from the time we got
together. We had another drummer guy, Vic, for a little while. I think he lasted for like 2-3 months, but he didn't want to do it. He couldn't cut it. He just couldn't cut it. Vic was a great bandmate. He just couldn't play very well.
Okay.
So anyway. Sorry, that was my phone ringing. Yeah,
I figured it was your ringtone, probably.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah. So we changed. Well, we got Polly. Polly was even younger, and we decided to join some stupid battle of the band stupidity here, and we fucking won. We won. The band that we beat, I swear to you, if I had a vote, I would have voted for them. I mean, that's how good they were.
Good.
They were very good. They were better than us. But we had the look, we had the long hair, and the chicks were screaming for us. So you know how it is, man.
It went a long way, especially back in the day. It really
man,
did.
big time. Because it was all about the look, right? It was all about the image, right? Remember we called it image. So, and we were the kings of that, man. I remember our first shows. We had T-shirts, posters, caps, pins, fuck you name it, everything, pics, everything.
From the first show.
From the first show, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's how it started,
And okay, so that was the first show. That's how you guys started. That's kind of an interesting story. How you kind of fell into it.
Dude, being a singer was, when they say the last thing on your mind, I think it was after the last thing on my mind. I just looked the part. I had like hair down to my ass. I loved music. I really did. I mean, I went to thousands of concerts. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I still
I'm
go
with
to
you.
concerts. I still have all my ticket stubs. And then when we did that stupid battle of the band and we won, then I'm like, man, do we have something here?
Right.
So we started playing little clubs around there. Like we played the Whiskey around here. We had a bar called Whiskies out here. So we played the Whiskies, and we're doing the show. And I like I said, I was into music, and I looked in the audience and I recognized somebody. It was Vince Marino from Mahogany Rush.
Oh.
Yeah. And I tell my cousin, I said, come here, man. I go, see that guy out there? He goes, yeah. I said, that's fucking Vince Marino from Mahogany Rush. My cousin's like, you had too many beers. Shut up. Go sing and don't fucking bother people. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, that's been. I had posters of the guy in my room. Right? I mean, I had Mahogany Rush posters with Frank and whatever. And I'm like, that's fucking Vince. He goes, no, you're losing your mind. I said, oh, whatever. So without telling them, I walked up to that guy. And it was Vince. I was right.
Yeah.
I said, hey, man. I said, I'm a big fan. He goes, hey, man, good singing, which was incredible,
Right.
Like Vinny and Frank to me are like, they're like my mentors. They're everything. Even Frank just produced my new solo album that I released last year.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. So I went up to Vince straight off the bat and I said, listen, we're going to the studio to record a stupid little demo, which was Beg, Borrow, or Steal. I said, would you like to produce it? And he said, yes.
Oh, really?
Right there. I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. Is this really happening? So I went back to the guys. I said, you see, you fuckers, that was Vince. And we just got a producer for the album, And the rest is history, man. And we're still friends till this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. There's a good rock scene in Canada during the time too.
There really was. I remember we played about 36 weeks straight. And when I say weeks, I mean weeks, okay? We played from Sunday to Monday, and you only had that Sunday afternoon for travel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We played it all. And we never left the province of Quebec. So there were bars.
A lot of clubs and bars.
All over the joint. And we played with some major acts, like Canadian acts. I don't know if you know them, but we played with like guys like Prism. We played with guys like I Mother Earth. We played with Trooper. We played with a couple of members of the Guess Who. I mean, they used to put us on the bill with Lee Aaron and Aldo Nova. We played all the Canadian acts, Brighton Rock. We did them all.
And there was a lot. There's, oh my God, Kick Axe. There were Chrissy Steele.
Oh, man.
The Headpins.
Headpins. Oh my God, love them.
I mean, so many. There's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I've done a few episodes, and I did a whole Killer Dwarfs is another one I did an episode.
Oh my God, I love them.
Yeah,
I love
great.
the Killer Dwarfs. Oh God, I love them.
So I mean, there was a lot.
Yeah, big time.
That's pretty cool. And kind of hung out with all of them.
Sorry?
Kind of hung out with all of them at one point or another.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And what was I gonna say? See, I first heard you guys on that Paris Records. Like they did the samplers, Paris Records samplers.
Oh my God!
Number 5, and that's how I heard Krystal, and I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome.
God. So, Paris Records.
Oh, I love Paris Records.
Fuck, you're dating me now, man. Holy shit.
Well, Mathers is still running it. He's still doing his stuff. So
wow.
Yeah, and so that's how I kind of came to him, was through that Paris Records sampler, which was great because there wasn't much great music, in my opinion, coming out at that time. So he was kind of keeping it alive. He
was. He really was. Yeah.
He was.
Thank God for guys like that.
Yeah, right. Because that was kind of like a life preserver out there for me. You'd hear something on the sampler that caught your ear, and there was no streaming yet or anything. So
thank God. That's when music was music. That's it's so destroyed now. It's disgusting. It's so sad. So sad.
The business is insane, right? I mean,
they destroyed the whole industry.
There is no business. They really did. There's
the industry, as far as I'm concerned, the industry is. Look, I still play every weekend. Okay, I have the tribute band or whatever. There's no industry. It's zero. It's nothing. If I have no children, but if I did, hey, Daddy, I want to play guitar. No, you don't. No.
Only if you want to do it for fun, and you're not going to make money at it. No, well, live you can make some money, but that's
live, because everything belongs to you live, right? So
right, but as far as selling and streams don't pay anything. And
I saw an interview last week that Snoop Dogg did. He said that his agent sent him an email saying, "Hey, man, your song your music got downloaded or streamed or whatever they call it, 2 billion times, billion with a B."
Right.
He made $43,000.
I remember Frankie Banali holding up a paycheck from Spotify. He posted it.
Yeah.
His royalties were lower than the cost of the stamp on the check they sent to him.
It's despicable.
And Quiet Riot was not. I mean, I'm sure
that's Frankie fucking Banali, man. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Come On Feel the Noise and Mental Health is on like every '80s playlist and
everywhere. So, everywhere. I know those albums back and forwards and backwards.
And he was a beast. But it's like just terrible. Streaming numbers are terrible. Is that why Krystal's not on the streaming services?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point? First of all, I didn't think we were still relevant. Although there's somebody on the internet on YouTube that keeps popping up these lyric videos of us all the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who he is. I really don't. Because like I said, I'm a donkey when it comes to that. I have no clue how to work that shit. But every once in a while he pops up an I don't belong or can't shake this thing or whatever, and I'm like, who is this fucking kid? And he keeps us alive. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey man, thanks.
Right.
Maybe
I was
one
going to
day
see
we'll
if you want. I thought about posting the albums if you guys wanted me to, just on YouTube, but I realize you're still they're for sale on Eonian Records still.
Are they really? Nobody told me anything.
Okay, so you're not getting a lot of royalties from them.
I got zero. I got a few like years ago, but nah. Somebody's probably making them at his house or whatever.
It could be. I don't know, but I didn't think they were available anymore, and I double checked, and they are still somewhere.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that I still have them. Yeah.
And I fully believe in getting that physical media. It's just so much better.
So do I. I got boxes and boxes of albums, CDs, cassettes.
Oh my God! I got the cassettes that you hung on the wall and the holders. Yeah. I got
shitloads. My girlfriend's like, "You want to get rid of this stuff?" I'm like, "No, that's my childhood, man." Seriously, I have when I used to go to I went to college for like 20 minutes to play for the soccer team, But we had a radio station at the college. And I used to get these samples. I have like the Coverdale Page sample. I have the Iron Maiden with the Sheriff of Nottisville, and I have all these, with Reach Out. There's a song called Reach Out that Iron Maiden did. I have it on radio cassette stupidity, but I have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a guy at a record store I used to go into all the time, and he would sometimes give me those samples that they'd send to the record stores and stuff. So,
exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly.
It was great. Exactly. Record stores are.
Oh man!
I used to go there, just flip through the imports, and something would catch your eye or catch your ear, or talk to people and find out what people liked. And
I love that. We had a show. There's a radio show here. There's a radio station called Shom FM here in Montreal, and every Friday night they had this thing called the Metal File.
Okay.
And they would just promote new bands or whatever, or a band's new album, whatever. And I would listen every Friday, and I would be ready with my play record, right? You remember the play record?
Yep.
And I would listen to albums, and whatever I would like, I'd go to the record store on Saturday morning and pick up whatever I like.
Yep, it was great. And if you, like I said, some of the independent stores, they would, turn you on to stuff or let you know about things, or even give you stuff.
We had that here. We had the majors. We had like the Sam the Record Man and whatever, but we also had like little in the cave. What was it called? Somewhere in the cave. We had Dutchie's Record Cave. We had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we probably had 5 or 6 record stores, and now I think might be one left. Everything went off, and
it's over.
Something my kids are not, because I have 2 younger kids. They're
nice.
Not going to have that, and
it's over, man. It's over.
They went video stores. My son remembers going, but those are gone, and that was, that was an event. It was something you did. It's what they're just.
Yeah. Now everything's at the tip of their fingers, right?
It is.
And I tell that to everybody. I said, if I had how can I put this? If I had the opportunities that these kids, I remember putting my cassette in an envelope with bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Okay. And sending it off to the States or Irvine, California. Okay. I remember I sent one to what was her name? To Jerry Miller from Metal Edge magazine. Remember Jerry Miller?
Yep.
So I sent one to Jerry thinking, and I forgot about it. But I remember the price. It was $3.34 stamped because it weighed, right?
Right. Yeah.
$2.34 back then. One morning, I get a phone call. I'm like, "Hey, man, this is Jerry," and I thought it was Biff calling me. I'm like, "Bro, man, stop fucking calling me. You're breaking my balls." I hung up. Jerry called me back and says, "Please do not hang up. This is me." And she gave us a whole spread on Metal Edge magazine.
I remember I found quite a few bands that way. They do like maybe 2 new bands, and each would get half a page. And
that's it. That's exactly what she did for us. And I remember she put a nice little compliment. She said, "I wish I could tell you which song is my favorite." She goes, "But I love them all."
That's nice to hear.
That's pretty nice, So
I have so many of those magazines still. I wonder if I probably have the if you knew which one it was, I'd look it up. If you knew when it came out,
I have a copy of it somewhere. If I find it, I'll send you a picture of it.
Picture. Yeah, because I'll double check. I got them all
in
the file.
If I can find it, I'll send, because I know I have a copy of it.
That's very cool. Yeah, you probably want to hang on to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Metal Edge was like a Bible every month that we went to.
Absolutely.
You'd read
Remember
the metal
Circus Magazine and Hit Parader? Remember all that?
Circus was the first one. I used to have Circus Magazine and Metal Edge were my subscriptions. I get one for my birthday from my parents every year.
Stacked, man. But that's where we would learn everything, right? That and on the back of the albums.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, it was a ritual to open up your album and you'd read through the liner notes and you'd find out who thanked who and who produced what. And
oh my God, when I got Heaven and Hell, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. You know, I got For Those About to Rock. You know, we opened it up. I'm like, it's fucking great. You know,
great photography. Yep.
Yeah, man. Those days are over. It's over. These kids don't have any clue what they're missing.
No,
it's terrible.
It's just, it really is. It was a tactile experience. And I don't know if you, for me, sometimes you open a cassette or whatever, it had this certain smell that just, I still open one once in a while.
When you take the shrink wrap off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or whatever, it had a certain smell. And
I'm Italian. It was like fucking pizza sauce. You know what I mean? It was delicious.
I'm with you. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was just it was a ritual, it was an experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You look forward to reading it and maybe reading through the lyrics the first time you listen through.
Oh, with who worked on it, who played on it, who did what, who wrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Other bands that they thanked. It's like, oh, that, you know, it was fun. It was a different thing.
Yeah, different trip.
It really was. Who inspired you the most when you started? Like, I found out how you got on stage to begin with. And that's
yeah, well, that was my cousin. Yeah. Well, like I said, I was always a music fan. You know, I'm going to tell you a story. You're going to say, that's no fucking way, Mimmo, you're a liar. There's a reason Deep Purple is my favorite band of all, okay? I'm going to tell you why. When I was a kid, I was like maybe, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. I had a friend, Frank, and his older brother, Vito, was the biggest Deep Purple, Rainbow, Whitesnake fanatic, okay? But he loved Deep Purple. So Frank tells me one day, he goes, come over, we're going to listen to my brother's records. So we took the Made in Japan record, put it on, and we started listening to Child in Time. Dun, 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 right? Yep. Doesn't Vito fucking come home from school and catch us? He caught us.
Okay.
He got mad because we're not supposed to touch his stuff.
Right.
He closed his room door. I can't make this shit up. I'm not that smart, okay? He closes the door, and he has a wall-size poster of Richie Blackmore in the back. You know that famous with the strat, right?
Yep.
He made us kneel down and pray to the fucking poster. Then you wonder why Purple is my favorite band. Because I have no choice. Okay? Deep Purple for me, but I'm a big Beatle fanatic. I love the Beatles. I mean, they're tattooed all over my arms. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, I love the Beatles. The Beatles, John Lennon to me is, you know, the Beatles are the Stones, the Beatles. But I'm a big blues guy. I love the blues. I'm a big, I love the Howlin' Wolf, and I love Muddy Waters, and I love, all those guys. And Little Walter. I love all those guys. John Lee Hooker.
Oh,
I love all
those guys. Yep. I kind of always liked rockabilly too.
You know what?
Early rock and roll guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, look, they say that, Chuck Berry started it all, right? So.
Right. I always thought he had one of the guitar sounds that really started the guitar sound. He was great.
Incredible.
Him and Buddy Holly's songwriting.
Buddy Holly, exactly.
And Elvis's showmanship. And I don't know, that whole, again, there was some great rockabilly stuff early.
My musical tastes go, they range. I mean, just yesterday I was asked, there's a guy up here, his name is Tino. He has the It's a Coalition that I sing on every once in a while. We did a Bee Gees song, okay? We did Nights on Broadway. And I love the Bee Gees. I love Simon and Garfunkel. My range is, I love all that stuff,
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I'm a rock and roller.
Yeah.
Beatles and Stones for me is that's where it is. And like I said, my mentors, I was lucky enough, like I told you, Dean, I was lucky enough to have Vince and Frank in my life. And I mean, Frank, Vince, they're like two of the greatest guitar players that ever played the goddamn instrument. You know what I mean? I mean, every interview that Zach does, he mentions Frank. Every interview that Joe Bonamassa does, he mentions Frank. Even Johnny Winter, before he passed away, mentioned Frank. Pat Travers. I mean, these guys, Yuli, they all mention Frank. And I was lucky enough to have them in my life. And I owe everything to Vince and Frank. Everything I know musically. Everything. And I mean everything I owe to them too. They are, to me, like the GOATs, They They taught me what's right. I remember Vinny once telling me, it's not how good you are. It's how good you make them think you are. Right? He's like, does it mean you don't have to go out and practice to be good? That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Right? But you always have to, whether there's one person in the audience or there's a million people in the audience, you got to give your show. All these little things, you know what I mean? When you're a little Italian hothead, you don't think these things, right? And then he grounded us. He's like, it has to be done like this. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy was 19. He's playing in front of 150,000 people, the California Jam. You know what I mean? I think he knows, right?
And when it comes from someone you respect, you actually listen.
That's what it is, right? It's respect at the end of the day. And with Frank, man, oh man. I mean, even now, like last year when he's like, why don't you come and record it here? I'm like, what? Yeah, because I'll do it for you. What? I almost fell,
Is that the new album?
That's my solo album. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. That was because I didn't know until you sent me the pictures about it.
Yeah, so that's something called.
It's similar to Krystal.
It is.
It's similar. It's probably a little bit more mellow than Krystal was.
It is. But that's why I called it. That's why you liked it. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. I listened to it on my phone. I want to download it on my computer.
Nice. That's why I called it The Other Side of Me. M.I.
Right, I saw that. Yeah.
You saw that? Because everybody thinks I'm this fucking metalhead, because of the Krystal and the hair, and I'm in an AC/DC tribute band now and whatever. But there's another side of me. There's another, and especially when those songs were written, it was before the pandemic, and I was going through some shit, and I lost my old man, and a lot of shit happened in my family. And you write down some stuff that, whether you like it or not, it's what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was going through some shit. I guess I don't know what the fuck. I really don't know.
It does help to work through stuff, to write lyrics and to write.
That's exactly what I do. I'm not. I mean, I had no fucking Edgar Allan Poe, right? I'm just Mimmo. I just get a pen and I wrote them down, and I'm like, and I remember saying, I won't record them unless Biff records it with me. So they sat with me for years after the pandemic.
Okay.
And I wrote them before the pandemic.
And it just came out last year?
Last year. Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did a video. There's a video up on YouTube for I'm Flying.
Okay.
It's there. There's an actual video. Mimmo's Aftershow. I'm Flying. It's there.
All right, I'll look for it.
Yeah, it's there. It's out there. And we did that. And like I said, Frank produced that record. And I don't know if you can hear it. The guitar tone is like, it's stupid. It's like fucking, anyway, this guy's is like a mad scientist, man.
It's awesome.
It's amazing. It's like when you work with your heroes, because I've had the experience where I met a couple of guys, and I remember, rest his soul. Remember Jeff LaBar?
Yeah, yes.
He told me to go fuck myself because I wanted to take a picture with him.
Oh, really? He was going through some stuff probably at the time.
Probably. But does it give you the right to do that?
It does not. No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? I was a kid, man. I was a kid. I bought your fucking night songs. I brought your whatever, Long Cold Winter, whatever, Train Station, whatever the fuck they were called. I don't remember. Yeah. I bought that. I was at every one of your shows. Yeah,
it doesn't. You should never be an asshole to somebody.
You don't have to do that, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, I had one bad experience too with somebody,
really?
and when I was littler, it was a sports guy, but he we were standing in the rain and we asked for his autograph. Said, "Oh, sure, I'll be right back. Just gonna run in the bathroom." So went into the bar. We waited in the rain for like 10 minutes for him. We peeked our head in there. He's like, "No," he ran out the back door.
Asshole.
Like me and my friend were sitting there, and it's just we're like,
yeah, I didn't ask you for money, man. I didn't ask you whatever. I asked you. I said, "Can I?" And I said, "Please." I said, "Can I please have it?" And remember those little pocket cameras that you used to get at the gas station, right?
The disposable ones. Yep.
Yeah, it was a little whatever. I said, "Can we have?" I was gonna have somebody in the street take a picture. Yep. He literally said, "Get the fuck out of here, kid." That's what he said to me.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And that stuck to me, but it sucks because I end up spending a day with the guys from Deep Purple, and they were gentlemen. You know what I mean? I've met so many people, like everybody, Vinny Appice and Frank and Joe Bonamassa and whatever. I met so many of them, and they were gentlemen.
I think it's an important thing to treat others like you treat yourself.
That's right.
And I mean, the bad ones stick with you sometimes, though. They just kind of like. What?
I was a kid, man. I was a child.
Right.
I was just a kid. I had nothing to do with music. I was just, I loved Cinderella. I still love Cinderella.
Right.
I love all that stuff, man. I love it. I love all that shit. But you told me, get the fuck out of here, kid. Oh.
You remember. See, I know that you remember. My wife's like, she'd really get over that. You were like 10. I'm like,
no. No,
No,
no.
and then you probably never treat somebody like that because of that.
Never, never. I'm telling you, man. I especially with children. That's what I do now. I teach. I teach sports in schools
Okay.
for kids, for elementary school kids, not like not the teenagers, but just elementary school. And they're so impressionable, all of them. And to me, they represent the innocence of the world, right? These kids, they're beautiful little kids, man. They just
Mm.
they just want to know. They want to know. I was curious. I wanted to know, right?
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, that's Jeff LeBar from Cinderella. He's going to be on stage later, and I came here to watch him, right? I came here to hear night songs. I came here to hear Shake Me, whatever, right? He told me to go fuck myself.
That's hard.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if oh, sorry, I don't have time right now.
That's a different story.
Yeah, you'd
be
like,
a different story.
Right. Yeah, you'd be like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, that's rough. Especially, a kid. But I know what you know about little kids, because I coached my son's baseball team or help coach it.
Wonderful.
And it's just great. It's and I remember,
so satisfying.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
It's so satisfying.
Tell me about 21 Guns. 21 Gun Salute.
21 Gun Salute is you know what? That's another thing. My God, everything I do in fucking music was all stupidities. There was a band here that used to do a tribute to AC/DC that I don't know what happened. They split up. Some bullshit happened. All of a sudden, I get a phone call. I used to work at a music store here for 20 years. And they said, yeah, is Mimmo there? I said, yeah, speaking. Hey, we don't have the singer guy no more. We hear that, because I used to play AC/DC in my set,
Okay.
Would you like to come and audition? And I said no. Right after, I said, no, I'm not interested in that. Click. They called again. No. They called again. They showed up at my work. There's a friend of mine that I used to work with. He's like, dude, just fucking go, man. And just tell them you don't want to do it after, So I go to the audition. And we play a song, like literally a song. I think it was Hell's Bells or something. And they gave me the gig on the spot. I said, guys, I don't want the fucking gig. I don't want it. To be honest with you, I didn't think I still had the pipes to do it. But 12 years later, I'm still doing it. It's fun. I know it's a tribute thing, but we become the biggest in North America. Like, we go all over the state. We play more in the States than I do in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Actually, I signed a gig today for Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you have to let me know if you come to Wisconsin. I'll have to.
You know what? Yeah, I will let you know. You're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'll let you know, man. Yeah, I'll let you know. We do it. Like, look, we're going back to Indiana this year. We're going to Cleveland. We're going to Detroit. We're going to Florida. I just signed it today. A couple more. I don't remember right off the bat, but yeah, I'm going to a couple places. If we do get
go ahead.
Close, I said if we do get close, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we'll meet.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was gonna say, do you guys have a lot of trouble with visas playing down here? Do you have trouble getting visas to play down here? No.
What happens is it's not a visa. It's called a work permit, right?
Okay.
It's called a P2. It's basically a permission slip to go work and come back that weekend.
Okay.
You follow?
Yeah.
So what happens is the venue's got to say yes, and then the musicians guild's got to say yes, because everybody's got to get their royalties, correct?
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yep.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Everyone
and so we get the working visas and we cross, and then you got to tell them exactly, you got to give them a date, right? So when are you coming in? When are you leaving? Right? But the cool thing, cool. It used to be better. The cool thing is now, when you apply for these P2s, it's like, I think it goes for like 2 months. So any gig you have in 2 months, you can put on the same P2.
Okay.
You follow?
Yep.
And then it's you just cross the border. If not, oh my God, they put you through fucking hell. Everything's got it does. But we're very, very, very organized. Everything's serial numbered. We have a list of everything. If we don't have anything that's illegal, because think about it. You're crossing the border. What do you have in your trailer? Oh, in this trailer, we got 2 cannons, right? We got a fucking gigantic bell, right? Yeah. Excuse me, sir. You have cannons? Yes.
Cannons.
Who are you going to kill? You know what I mean? Like, It doesn't sound right, right?
Right.
Yeah. But now they're getting so used to it. Now it's like, hey man, it's the boys. Hey guys, how's it going? You know, like so.
If you go through the same checkpoint, I guess it's not.
Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
Just
no
makes
kidding.
it a lot easier, man. Makes it a lot easier. So yeah, so we started doing that, and it's working, and it's quickly it's become like the top. I mean, Brian just sent me a picture signed to Mimmo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
We played a theater in Michigan, and just as luck would have it, the owner of that theater was Brian Johnson's best friend in England. How do you like them apples? And he told them about us. And Brian sends me a picture saying, keep rocking, Mimmo, thank you. So I'm like, what the fuck? That's nice. You know what I mean?
He didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that. Exactly.
Right.
And that's so, I'm 55 years old, man. And I appreciate, I feel like I'm a 14-year-old kid when he did that.
I was about to say, that probably makes it feel like, a kid again. Because we still love our.
And I appreciate it. And that's why any kid that wants to take a picture with me, any kid that, when we play these AC/DC shows, they come up dressed as Brian or Angus. I bring him on stage, Dean. I literally do. I bring him on stage, I'm like, come on, man. Come on,
Very cool.
I don't want to be that guy. I want to be
because it only takes a little bit to make somebody's day and to give somebody a good memory. Just takes you something small, man. Something that doesn't cost you anything.
I just want to be a good person, man. That's it. I just want to be a good person. And I want that little boy or that little girl to say, you know what, that guy was cool with me. Maybe I want to sing. Maybe I want to play guitar. Maybe I want to pick up a bass. Maybe I want to play drums. Whatever. That's all I want.
That's awesome. Yeah, just a little bit of a. And like I said, you get the sign thing, and I don't know. I'd feel like I was like 15 again, going, "Holy crap! Got Brian Johnson's autograph."
He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that.
No, not at all.
They put us on their webpage when we started. They're like, "Take a look at these guys." I'm like, "What?" They put our video, our promo video, on their page.
See, nobody had to do that, and you're not going to get any better promotion than that.
Are you kidding me? That was amazing.
That's crazy. So that's apparently going pretty well.
Yeah, it's going very well. It's going very well. Yeah.
Do you sell your solo stuff there too, or does it cross over?
I have that on Spotify and on Apple Music.
Okay.
I don't want to blend the two. The AC/DC thing is, like I said, everybody thinks I'm this fucking metalhead, like.
Yep.
And the album is, I love it. I mean, I think it's from here, And I did it all myself. I mean, even with Krystal, I wrote everything and I pretty much came up with everything,
Okay.
The guys were very cool. Don't get me wrong; they did their part. But lyrically, I wrote everything. I mean, I have to sing it, right? So it was easier for me to write it. But this album, I did it all myself, note for note. I wrote a lot of it for Biff because I wanted Biff to play guitar on it, knowing that Frank was going to do it. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's going to be guitar fucking everywhere, And there was. I mean, it was a dream come true for me,
Right. That's true.
It was dream come true. Vinny did our first record. Vince did Beg, Borrow, or Steal. And now Frank did my last one, right? So to me, mission accomplished,
That's awesome. That is pretty awesome. How would you describe Krystal's sound? Because I have trouble. It's hard rock, but it's also got bluesy and it's got a little bit of, sometimes a little honky tonk feel to it once in a while. Or it's hard to describe. I have trouble describing it to people. You know what?
You're not the first person that says that. Like I said, we're very blues based. At least I am. Biff is also, and I don't know. I mean, it's not glam. Like, you can't put it in the same category as a Steelheart or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's not that. And it's not Motley Crue either, right?
But I was listening today, and there was some heavier guitar that I picked up on, and there was some. Yeah,
look, I find it, like, to me, I remember we did an interview kind of like this with someone in England years ago. And they said, well, what do you say if everybody says to you that you guys just want to be Aerosmith or Guns N' Roses? I said, well, fucking thank you. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Thanks. I would complain, Like, high five. I don't know. What the fuck you want me to tell you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because they're a little bit, like, Aerosmith's a little bit bluesier. You know what I mean?
Right. I love Aerosmith.
Are you kidding me, man? These fucking gods, To me, they're like gods, And they're friends with Frank, too, so which is right? Yeah, they toured together a couple times.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't know, like bluesy rock, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah, that's probably the closest I would come to it too.
Yeah,
It's a different sound.
it is.
It's a unique sound, which is not easy to do.
Thank you, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Which again, don't forget, we were kids, man. I mean, look at the shit I'm singing about. Five knuckle shuffle. I mean, really?
Exactly.
Like, are you serious?
That
We were
might
just
have been
kids.
the one on the sampler, on the Paris sampler. I'm not sure. I have to go
We
back.
were. Do you remember a record company called Rodell Records?
That one I don't recall.
Okay, so somebody called us in the early, maybe late '80s, early '90s. Said we're doing a compilation album. I said okay, and we want to put Runaway. I don't. Have you heard Runaway Train from Krystal? It was on the Beg Borrow Steel cassette.
Not. I haven't heard the Beg Barrel Steel cassette. I've got the Plug This,
and that was done with Vince Marino.
Okay.
And there's 2 songs on that we reused, but there's 2 songs on that no one's ever heard of before. And one of them is called Runaway Train, and it's on that Rodell Records compilation record. It's on a CD. You can actually still find it, and it's on it. And Runaway Train is on it, and Vinny produced that. Vince produced that. Okay. And if you hear it, we're 18 years old, and I listen to it every once in a while. And like, I can't fucking believe that's us. We were kids. We were kids, man.
When you think of when you're 18, you don't have as much of a clue as you think you do.
We didn't. Thought we were invincible. Next thing you know, I turn around. I have a mortgage to pay for. Like life took over, right?
And, life happens. Every time you think you got it figured out, something happens. You realize you're not the one in charge at all.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
I remember that. We did that on the Rodell Records. Yeah.
I would like to hear that. Yep. Because that one I don't know. I do. The cassette was out there, but And Plug This was re-released on D-Rock Records also, right?
Yeah, there's some guy around here that wanted to release it. He wanted to give us like a distribution deal and whatever. So they wanted to change the whole cover and whatever. Because again, we did it all ourselves. You know what I mean?
I have the original cover.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So. And the reason we called it Plug This. You remember everybody was coming out with Unplugged. Remember Kiss Unplugged and fucking Scorpions Unplugged. And I'm like, you know what? I said, here, plug this, man.
There you go. Good idea.
That's the only reason.
That's how it came out.
That's the only reason.
That MTV Unplugged happened, and all of a sudden.
And everybody and their grandmother had everything unplugged, remember?
Yep. And I think Tesla may have been the first one with the acoustic 5-band.
Yeah, remember the 5-band, whatever, 5-man
acoustical jam, and then MTV took that, and then everybody was on Unplugged. And
it's funny you mentioned Tesla because I've met them a couple of times with Frank and Keith and all that, and they're good friends with Frank, right? And Frank came over to meet. Yeah. And when they came here, and when they came to Hamilton and whatever, when they came to Montreal, I met up with Frank Hannon.
Okay.
And he's such a great guy, man, And Keith, oh my God, what a wacko. This guy, I thought I was fucked. This guy puts me to shame, dude. What a fun guy, man. There's awesome. So much fun. There's so much fun. Great guys. Great. And I love that music. I love that Tesla music. Oh my God.
Oh, very good stuff. Excellent. I love their last album too. I thought it was their best one in a long time.
Yeah. They did a version of Climax Blues Band. They did I Love You. I don't know if you heard that.
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Beautiful version. Again, I told you I'm a blues guy, right? So
right. And those guys can play. Yeah. Oh, and Slash just had a blues.
I know, and Brian's on it.
Oh, Brian Johnson is so good too.
Yeah. I can't wait to get that. Yeah. I got to get that too. Yeah.
And Steven playing harmonica and scatting over it, and I heard that song. I'm like, wow, that kind of blew me away the other day. So I'm looking forward to that album now.
Me too.
It's really good.
I love that.
I want to see who else he brought into the studio with him too.
Well, Slash, he can have Christ himself. You know what I mean? One of the best pieces of advice I ever had was from Vince Marino. And I said to him, I go, Vinny, I love this music and I love, the Motley Crues and the Scorpions and whatever. He's like, that's fine and dandy. He goes, but, go look at who they liked. I said, okay. And you all get to, you get to Jimmy Page and you get to Bad Company and whatever, right? You get to David Gilmour. And then he says, once you get to that, he goes, now go look at who they liked.
Yep.
And it ends at the blues.
Oh, it starts there.
You understand? It just ends. It just starts at the blues.
Yep.
Right? That's why I became such a big blues fan. Yep. It's as simple as that. As a matter of fact, on the other side of me record, I did a cover of Strange Brew from Cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. Like I said, I just found out about it. Yeah.
Let me know. Let me know what you think. I'd like to know what you think about it.
Text because I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna give it a good.
Let me know what you think about it, man. Because like I said, I did a version of Strange Brew. It's one of my favorite songs from Clapton, right?
Okay.
So I told Frank, and he's like, "Let's give it a go," and we did.
Yep. You like the way it turned out? You happy with it?
Oh my god, yeah. It's Frank. It's that guitar sound. Guy's a god, man. Oh my god. He's just God. I can't thank you is not enough. You know what I mean? And like I say to him 100 times, I said sometimes the fan in me forgets that he's my friend.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I understand that. Yep.
Because I go to his house to watch hockey. We're big hockey fans.
I saw your email address.
I'm a big Maple Leaf fan. You know what I mean?
I figured that was what your email was about.
Email address. Leafs, exactly. You know, and I go over to Frank's, and we have supper and we watch the game. He's a big Canadians fan, or at least was. And sometimes I'm like, he's my fucking friend. He's my friend.
Right.
And he's helped me so many. Besides music, he's helped me. Just his knowledge. He's so. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know exactly what you kind of get. Yeah.
You know, I keep telling him, I said, Frank, if half my teachers were like you, I would have probably went to school. Really, I would, you know.
But I know what you mean. It's like your friend, but then every once in a while you realize, holy crap, he's not just my friend. He's also the guy that I had on my posters on my wall. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally had posters. I mean, there's a picture that I have. I don't know if you can see it from Krystal. It's in the corner up here somewhere. No, you probably can't see it there. Okay. On the wall, there's a picture of Frank Marino. There's a poster. And we didn't know him then. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. You know?
It's kind of it's got to be a blessing, but also a strange thing sometimes to realize it.
It is.
You're sitting in his living room or whatever, you know?
It is. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. And he's my buddy. He's my pal. He's my friend. And he's my mentor. And like I said, I owe everything to him and Vinny. Vinny to me is God. Like I get choked up because I love him so much. He
help personally and help career wise and help still there after decades.
So many years.
Yeah. So that is actually really cool.
Yeah.
You know what any of the other guys are doing from the band?
Yeah, well, Fred is still with me with the 21 Gun Salute.
All right.
He plays the Malcolm part.
Okay, cool.
Fred is Malcolm. Yeah, Biff he recorded with me. He's doing his own stuff. He's got his own he does his little solo stuff that he does on his guitar. My cousin gave it up because my cousin, the bass player, Mimmo, the one that got me started into this shit, doesn't do it anymore. He's got carpal tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I asked him to play bass on the other side of me.
Okay.
And he said that he could. He tried, and he couldn't.
Okay.
He couldn't. It's really weird. Instead of one finger moving, it's like the whole hand. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? He goes, dude, it's the muscle, the nerves or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
There's a surgery to do for it, but I don't know.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. So he can't play anymore. And Paulie, I mean, I talk to Paulie every so often, but he's got his own thing. He's got his family now. He plays in a cover band somewhere, but we were talking about reuniting. It's just, when you're in your 50s and they have children, and it's hard. It's hard to,
Oh, everybody's got, especially with kids, families, just your time is not your own anymore. So
yeah. But I still see Fred. Like I said, I see Fred all the time. He's with me with 21 Gun Salute. Biff, I spoke to him a couple days ago. My cousin, I saw him yesterday. Okay. So we still keep in touch. So yeah.
There's no drama or anything. It's just
no. Why? Life's too short, man. That's why we used to get along, because like I said, it was Vinny made us understand that if you play the music properly, there's no denying it. And that's why, not because it's my band or whatever, I find the music that we played then, it's still good to listen to today.
Oh, I agree.
It's good today. It really is. Not because it's Krystal and I'm the lead singer. No. Man, it really is good music. It's fun,
It's upbeat. It's like I said, very blues based.
Yeah.
And that type of music it's kind of timeless, really.
I hope to God that it is. Yeah, I really do. If somebody can listen to it and say, I want to do that one day, then mission accomplished for me. I'm good.
And then, like you said, some of the lyrics, like Five Knuckle Shuffle or whatever, are kind of funny. But then you had like I Don't Belong, which doesn't seem like it get much more personal than that.
No, I Don't Belong is I lost a friend of mine years ago to a car crash, and I mean I think about him every day because I was supposed to be in that car with him.
Okay.
And in those days there was no such thing as cell phones, and they were all going to the beach the next morning, and he called me late that night and he's like, why don't you come to the beach tomorrow? I said, well, why didn't you tell me today? So I would have told my boss I'm not going in tomorrow, right? Because there's no cell phones, right? So
right.
He's like, oh, come on, man, fucking just not, don't go tomorrow. And just, I said, and the last thing we said to each other was, fuck off, man. I mean, we didn't mean it, but when two guys talk, right? Like, fuck off. The next morning I go to work, and his cousin called me bawling and saying they were in a car crash and he passed away.
Okay.
And I've lived with that for years. I see his sister every once in a while, and I try not to, make eye contact, because I can't, And that song was just came out one day, just like that.
It's very, I could tell, right? The lyrics are very personal. You could tell.
Yeah.
So
there's a few of them that were cool, I remember, I don't know if you heard, what album is it on? I think it's on, is it on 3 chords in a song? It's probably on 3 chords in a song. I did a song called Hat Man and Jimmy Bean.
Oh, yeah, it's on 3 chords.
It's on 3 chords.
Yeah.
I found a straw hat in the middle of somewhere I was playing, like in the middle of winter. I found a straw hat. I brought it home to my hotel room, and there was a movie on. I can't even tell you the name of the fucking movie. I don't remember. But it was about 2 cowboy guys, and one guy was trying to mentor the young guy and try to go rob banks and whatever. I don't know what the fuck. And I said, I'm going to write this. It's a stupid story about 2 guys, and I'm going to call it, one of them is a hat man, because I found a hat.
Yeah.
And I had a bottle of Jimmy Beam in my room.
So there you go.
Hat man, Jimmy Beam. That's the story. Put it to paper, and that's what it is.
Yeah. I know. I write lyrics too, and I sing, but nice. You never know. Sometimes a song starts out one way too, and I start writing about something, and then as it goes on, the lyrics kind of almost become about
something. Take you somewhere else. Yeah.
It's the story sometimes writes itself. Sometimes it's personal, and sometimes it's a little bit fantasy, and sometimes it's about something else. But it's always
absolutely. People think we say, "Oh, it's 7:00 tomorrow. I have to write a song." It doesn't work that way, man.
No,
it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way.
No, not at all. The Bon Jovi story.
The story
you mentioned earlier.
Years ago, we started doing some pre-production with the drummer Joe. You remember Jeff Healy, the blind guitar player?
Yeah.
We started working with Jeff and Joe, the drummer, because he was dating, I think it was Biff's sister or whatever. Anyway, we started working with him, and they were supposed to produce our record. So they ended up going on tour with Bon Jovi. They came to town, Montreal. So Joe says, come and meet us backstage. So we went, and we had the all-access pass.
Okay, yeah.
In those days, it was the sticker. Remember the sticker?
Remember the lanyards and the... Okay, yeah.
Remember you used to peel it and stick it to your chest? I have a few Def Leppard ones. Anyway, whatever. So we get there, and we're backstage, and Jeff is on, and he does his set. And when he finishes his set, we go in the back, and we start, partying with them, drinking, whatever. At this point, John is on stage with Bon Jovi, but we're still in the back. So Biff and I decided to go for a walk. We ended up on the fucking Zamboni of the old Montreal Forum where the Canadians used to play. We're leaning on the Zamboni, and we hear, "Thank you, good night. We'll see you next time." Okay, and then he comes out, and he sees me, and he freezes. He's like, he runs back up on stage, and his fucking bodyguard comes out, and he tells me, "Don't move a muscle, dude. You're bigger than fucking Shaq. I'm not moving no muscle." You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, he came out, and he came out with a robe over his head, and his bodyguard was like, walking by me like this to not. And he lifted up his hoodie, and he looked at me, and he gave me like a dirty look, So I said to him, I'm like, dude, I said, take it easy. Who the fuck you think you are, Mick Jagger? You know, the second those words came out of my mouth, his bodyguard grabbed me by the kind of the throat. He just fucking grabbed me like this and pushed me aside, whatever, and threw me out, whatever. A couple of nights after that, he was on a show called Later with Bob Costas. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And Bob Costas asks him and says, I hear you like to help kids out. He goes, yeah, well, I helped out some neighborhood kids like Snake Sabo, right, with Skid Row. And he goes, I helped out Cinderella, a couple of guys, whatever. He goes, just a couple of nights ago in Canada, some kids broke down some barriers to get me a cassette. I didn't give you no fucking cassette, asshole. He was talking about me.
Okay.
He was talking about me, because I wasn't supposed to be there, right?
Right.
Anyway, I'm like, you know what, John? Go to hell. Go fuck yourself. I mean, I loved this music when I was a kid, but that left a sour taste in my mouth,
Just like the Jeff LaBar.
Well, he was worse. He told me to go fuck myself.
But that is worse.
That's a lot worse. Because look, I had the pleasure of playing soccer with the guys from Iron Maiden.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I've met so many of them over the years. Yeah. I jammed with Vinny Appice from Black Sabbath.
Oh my God.
I spent a day with Deep Purple, which was my dream come true. So many. I met so many of them over the years.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many people you've met and hung out with, or got that the doors opened up for you. And
yeah. And like I said, you don't have to be a jerk about it.
No. Most of them, most of them aren't. That's why the bad ones stick in your head when you have a sour experience.
Exactly. I saw Ronnie James Dio once give an interview, and they had said to him, because Ronnie was known for signing every autograph till everybody was gone. Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him, why do you sign every autograph? He goes, because I played in a band with a guy that didn't sign one of them, which was Richie Blackmore.
Okay. See, I've heard nothing but great things about Ronnie Dio, and Alice Cooper's the other one that everyone talks very, very highly about.
I met Nita a couple of years ago.
Okay. And
she was great too. We took pictures, signed, we hung out with them, so nice,
Yeah. That's awesome.
It is. It's it's my life, man. That's what I do now. So
is your main gig the 21?
Yeah, I do that, and I teach the kids.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it now. Yeah.
There's a lot of weekend stuff for the 21 Gun Salute.
Yeah, a lot. Well, pretty much play all the time. Yeah, pretty much play all the time. Yeah.
I didn't know how much it interfered with the coaching and stuff.
Nah, because that's like in the afternoon, right? The kids do that after school or during lunch or whatever.
I know how much travel you had to do.
Yeah, but when I got to travel, I get replaced. I tell my bosses, and they replace me with somebody else. So.
Oh, nice.
Thank God they're understanding. So it's all good.
Well, that's nice to have a job that you can do that and that they're willing to do that for.
And that's kids are all, Mimmo, we saw you on YouTube, or Mimmo, we saw you on your podcast, because I do a sports podcast,
Okay. You said you did a hockey podcast.
Yeah. We do Puck Nation. Yeah. And I don't know if you're a sport guy. You're a sport guy at all?
I am a sport guy, but it's more baseball, football.
Okay. I'm a big time hockey guy.
Yeah.
And we had,
MMA.
We had some great, we had like Chris Nyland on, we had Light Oderline on, we had Bobby Ryan on, we had all these major guys that won the Stanley Cup or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And again, they come and they say yes, because when you're nice to people,
you get what you throw out there. Really,
that's it. That's it. That's why when you asked me, I said, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? Why wouldn't I do it?
And everybody I've talked to has been great too. It's really
that's awesome,
cool.
Man. Well, it's cool talking to you, man. That's really nice. Thank you.
And I like hearing the stories. I like talking to people.
I know. That's the best part about it. It's like reading the back of an album. It's like reading the back of an album.
Yeah, exactly. So I really do appreciate everybody that gives me an hour of their time or whatever. It's really fun. Of course,
man. Absolutely.
The conversations are always a good time for me. So
appreciate it, man. We'll keep doing it. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate the time. I love the music, and I'm going to check out the.
Let me know what you think, Dean. Okay, let me know.
Let you know, and
let me know what you think. I really appreciate that.
If you ever get in this state, let me know, and I'm going to come in.
Absolutely, Wisconsin. Anytime I'm near Wisconsin, I will send you a text.
I love it. Perfect.
All right, man.
Thanks for putting up with all the glitches at the beginning.
Now you kidding me, man. It's not your fault. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
Take care.
Take care.